Hello, Star Wars fans. Okay, so I do have a new issue of the X-Wing build. However, there is something that I am going to be talking about first. So, everybody probably knows about that whole COPPA thing that's going on with YouTube. It doesn't really affect me too much because I do this as a hobby, right? And I am not monetized at all. I don't make any money from my videos through YouTube. And I don't do that whole Patreon thing, so. But, even my Transformer builds, fixes, and upgrades are for adult collectors. So, I personally am just going through all my videos and I am changing the settings on it so that way only adults can watch them. So, I just figured that I'd let you guys know. Seeing as, you know, it's, what is it, 16th of November when this video is being made. And previous videos that are going to end up being uploaded before this are not going to be out for a while. I mean, I got another one that you probably already watched. Or there's probably going to be a few more X-Wings before this one's even out, but you know. And another reason for that is because last month I did get the email from Model Space and DeAgostini let me know that I was getting charged for month 8, but they never sent me the shipping notification for the X-Wing or for the R2-D2 for month 8. Or was that month 9? I forget. But so far they've done it one each. And for this month 9, for this X-Wing build, I didn't get an email about the charge, and I did not get a shipping notification, but I have the next 4, which is surprising. I did see the charge come out of my bank account, so I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if other people who are watching this, who are getting the build, have noticed the same thing. So I just figured I'd put a little heads up in there about both of those things before we start this build. Okay, so we have issue 33 of the Build Your Own Star Wars X-Wing from modelspace.com and DeAgostini. So, there we go. And I had a viewer, believe it was JB, who put a comment on one of my videos about how I need to zoom my camera out so they can see the entire thing. Well, you know, this camera is zoomed all the way out. This is a camcorder. I have a Sony digital camcorder. This is as far out as it goes. And in order for me to be able to, you know, record while I'm working, I mean, the camera's literally right in front of me. See? So there we have that. I mean, I can't go out any further. The only thing I can do is, you know, move it off to the side, but then I am not going to be able to really notice this on the record. I mean, I can flip the screen around, but, you know, it might not really help too much with that. And the camera I was using before this doesn't have the capabilities that this one does. I mean, yes, the megapixel I believe was higher on my Nikon, but there was a DSLR. You know, it's my good Nikon camera. The only issue with that, when going through, there was no settings to change recording time when you're doing movies, or, you know, doing this. It only had like a 20 minute max. I can only record in 20-minute increments. I mean, if I did know how to do editing and had like a laptop instead of using a home computer, which is connected to the TV downstairs, you know, and had actually been able to go on it and do all that kind of stuff with it at my own leisure, then, you know, it probably would have been great. But, sorry, JB, this is as far out as my camera goes. I mean, I can move it down, I can move it up, or side to side. Okay, this is zoomed all the way out, and this is zoomed all the way in. So, just so you know, it's all the way out. And I really don't have space to actually put it anywhere else in the room, or even next to me here, and have it angle, you know, like this kind of way. So, at least not right now. Probably still wouldn't be able to see the screen if I did, you know, flip it around or anything. But, alright, so in here we have Starfighter Aces Han Solo. Once again, another Starfighter Aces, young Han Solo. I do believe it was a previous X-Wing issue where they had the Han Solo, because Starfighter Aces is with the X-Wing build. Alright, and then we have creating a starship fleet on the attack. Alright, so just going through the magazine, just so you can see the content. And there it is about the young Han Solo with his white T Carillion freighter. Alright, and then we have upper port laser cannon. Alright, and here are the parts. We get a couple more of the framing parts, and then we have the internals for the third laser cannon and the other outer shell right there. Okay, but let's start with this, and then we'll go ahead and open up the baggie. Alright, upper port laser cannon. This issue's components continue the laser cannon that you began putting together in the previous stage, including making the laser generator with its internal LED lighting effect. You also have two frames used to join the forward fuselage frames you fitted in stage 32. Okay, so with that, we are just going to go ahead and we are going to open this baggie up. And I did finish painting the inside of that. This video might or might not take a whole lot of time to film, so when it comes down to the painting on this, I'm probably going to do it off screen, but I will put everything together in the steps because we are going to be actually putting the entire laser cannon base assembly here together in this issue. I did actually look at the issue this time around. Okay, so making the cannon. All parts. Okay, I'll turn that so you can see that I'm reading this right here. All the parts provided are used in this stage. After assembling the parts of the laser generator, you will need the half of the housing that you put together in stage 32. See, and you can see step 1 right here. Which, that just means that we are going to need all the parts, not the screws, which are XW01, X-Wing 1 screws. Alright, so we get all the parts for this. And we have that. And this. And this, which are going to be put up there for now, because at this moment we don't actually need them. Alright, so first thing we're doing, which this is starting from step 2, because step 1 was just getting all the parts. I'm just trying to straighten the wiring as much as possible. It sometimes does kind of help when you have to lay it out in something. Alright, so we just take the LED and just like usual we put it in there and just take the screwdriver. Oop, did I do that off camera? Okay, so we just take that and pop that down in here, and you see it kind of protruding out the end there, and then we just take screwdriver and very gently just see if we can push it down there even more, and you notice it is pushed out a little bit farther. It doesn't take a whole lot of force, a gentle push so that way you don't break the LED is all that's needed. And if my voice does sound a little bit different, I'm getting over a cold. So there we go for that. Alright, and putting that in there covers up through step 4. Alright, so step 5 is we're taking these 2 halves and we are going to be placing the wiring in here. Like this, so that way it's on the other side of that pig hole there. And you want it to be able to move. Alright, and then you just pop that together and just double check to make sure it still moves. Alright, and then we... Yep, and you see? Now that is what happens. Okay, now I had only done that on the first one. Well, the first laser cannon. You just want to make sure that you don't accidentally push on the front side, because you'll actually push the LED in. So, alright. So, flipping to the next page, because doing that takes us up through stage, or step 6. Alright, and then we take this collar right here, and then we put the wiring through like that. And then line it up with the notch in here. And we push that in like that. Alright, which that goes up through step 8. Alright, and then we take this piece and make sure that the wire's off over here on this side, right in this notch right here. So that way when this piece gets pushed in, it doesn't crimp that wire. And you just want to push it so that way that key or tab or whatever goes into the slot on this piece. Right like that. Okay, and then we're good with that. And that takes us up through step 9 and 10. Okay. And then we take these two halves, you just match up the posts with the two portholes, if you want to call them portholes, or just post holes, and push those together. And that is steps 11 and 12, as you can see right in front of me. And then just match that tab or lug with that slit in that right there. Alright. And that finishes you off through step 14. Now, I'm not reading off the steps because this is the 3rd time I've made this. So, alright. And then you got the expert tip right up here about the painting. And if you haven't watched this before, I am going to read that step off. So, let me just zoom in for you right there. See, expert tip. 1. As the laser cannon's lighting effect comes from the LED housed in the laser generator, you may notice a slight glow from the generator housing when the cannon fires. If you prefer to conceal this effect, apply some matte black modeling paint to both halves of the housing. Paint both halves of the housing. And part 2 for that is paint the whole of the area shown and allow both halves of the housing to dry before assembling them as in the following steps. Okay, so now this is where we're going to need those two halves. So we take the half that we already painted, and yes, if you did see the picture, I paint mine further back just so that way more light comes through the front. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so now we just match up these posts with these holes right down here. Make sure this is sitting in this circular end right here because the light needs to come through the front, because that's where the what the heck? The cable was, well, not cable, but you know, the optic fiber. That's where the optic fiber is going to be coming through. Alright, just take that and then just push that in. Make sure it's flush. Okay. Just like that. And then we just take this, put this over the top, make sure it's in that slit area. And now we are going to need parts from the previous issue. Here, let me, okay, now I've completely zoomed out again. Okay, so this this part right here is step 18, which you can't see. So popping these two halves together is step 16 and step 17 right there. And then we just push that in. Alright. And then we flip page. Oh, yeah, I never went over the steps in this. Okay, well, doing this is 20 steps, so here we got that. Oh, okay, so we're not actually going to need this in this one. So, but that's it. That's all we're doing. That is all we're doing in this. So, by the next time, issue 34, I will have the other half of this inside painted. So, there we go. And it says right here, keep the housing and other parts of the cannon safely installed until stage 34, when you will receive the other parts to complete the assembly. Alright. And so, we have 6 steps on extending more of the framework. Okay, so take the cockpit base framework that you extended in stage 32, which would be these two parts right here, and the two cross members provided with this issue. Okay, which we have it right there, and then we got the screws right there. Okay. And we're just going to open up the baggie. Alright. Put those down there. And it's 5 screws, so it's possible that we have an extra there. Okay, so seeing as we have not done this before, okay, so we have the steps. So step 1 is lay out the parts like this together with the 4XW01 screws. Okay. And so step 2 is the middle cross member goes this way around and in this position, which, okay, so I'll put that one up there. Okay, so this is the middle cross member right here, and it goes underneath on this side, and let me take the picture here a little bit closer. Okay, so it goes this way. Okay, so I'm thinking that it goes right here like that. Okay, so because we got these little posts right here and the screw holes right there, and you got 2 holes on either side, so these are obviously for the post holes right there on either side, and you just put it in, and it will actually pull the framework out a little bit while you're doing this. Alright, so get the XW01s right there. Alright, and the screwdriver and the screw. And we just, oh no, it's not it. Okay, there we go. Okay. And then we get the other one in. Okay, so that's only, these are, braces are only securing the two framework pieces from the previous together so they're not bouncing around. So, which, that's cool. Alright, and then we take... Okay, so step 3 was making sure to put the second screw in, so I guess we got that covered. And apparently, I don't have the screw tightened down all the way. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. I could have sworn it was screwed in all the... Oh, that's not the one with the missing lug either. That's the one that actually has the little lug or post that wasn't broken. This is the one that was broken, and that one's tighter than that, so I'm going to probably have to try to tighten that down again. Alright, and then we take this front frame section right here. Step 4, the forward cross member goes this way around, so that goes right up in here, and let's zoom in for you. Didn't mean to knock the camera up there. Okay, so you'll notice that there's little rounded indents right here on either side. It's gonna just match up with the hole, or the port or hole where the screws would be going in, and it goes in on the back side of here, so it's gonna sit right in these notches right here. So, alright. Alright, and then we screw it in from the front side. So, there we go for that. Well, it won't be doing that once it's screwed in, so... And it's not going in all the way. Probably gonna have to make sure that stuff gets lined up properly, because it should have gone in all the way. Well, that one didn't go completely in all the way, but... Okay, well, I guess that's as far in as they end up going. Put that one in there, and then this one right here. I'm gonna retry the screw and see if I can get that to go down further. Alright, that's better. I'm guessing some of these are meant to at least be all stay like a soft kind of screw in, even though you can tell that the screw's in all the way. But like this, you know, it's... See, because the screws are, both of them are out a little bit. So, I mean, I'll try to tighten them down a little bit more, but I don't want to, you know, strip the holes. It went down a little bit more. Okay, I'm not going to screw that down anymore because seeing as this is die-cast metal, I mean, it is kind of soft, so it is pretty easy if you over-tighten that you're going to strip the holes, especially if you don't have like a tap and die set to redo it, and then you'll end up needing to get some bigger screws. So, but there we go. There's the new bit of framework. I'm guessing that once more of the framework is done, this is all going to tighten up, and you won't really need to worry about how loose this is once the outer shell goes on. So, there we go for that. Alright, and that completes the assembly for this stage. Further braces will be added soon, but for now, be careful not to bend or strain the framework. Oh, alright, so until the next Build Your Own X-Wing, or until the next until the next Build Your Own R2-D2, or until the next mod for the Eagle Moss Build Your Own Back to the Future DeLorean. Thanks for watching.